As one of the nice football gamers with inside the world, it most effective makes experience that Neymar Internet really well worth displays his repute with inside the game. Today, the expert footballer earnings places him most of the highest paid athletes across the globe. However, how an awful lot is Neymar really well worth, exactly? Neymar, whose complete call is Neymar da Silva Santos Jr., changed into born on February 5, 1992, in Mogi das Cruzes, Brazil. His father, Neymar Santos Sr., is a former footballer himself who speedy have become his son mentor after witnessing his budding capacity for the sport. From a younger age, Neymar Jr. changed into coached in football. At the age of 11, his own circle of relatives moved to São Vicente, Brazil, in order that he may want to be a part of the adolescence group Portuguesa Santista. In 2003, they moved another time to Santos, Brazil, wherein he have become a member of Santos FC to get hold of schooling with the Santos Adolescence program. It changed into right here that Neymar commenced his profession, following with inside the footsteps of footballers like Pepe, Pelé and Robinho, who all were given their begin at Santos. At the age of 14, Neymar traveled to Spain for tryouts with Real Madrid adolescence group at a time whilst Cristiano Ronaldo, Zinedine Zidane, David Beckham, Roberto Carlos and Robinho all performed for Real Madrid. But he didn't come to be signing with the group, as Neymar father determined to hold his son in Brazil to permit the younger prodigy to revel in a regular early life earlier than his profession took him across the world. Instead, Neymar went directly to make his expert debut with Santos FC in 2009. He speedy have become one of the group maximum valued gamers, subsequently assisting them win the Copa Libertadores in 2011. The win marked their first victory on account that 1963, whilst Brazilian famous person Pelé changed into gambling for the club. During his tenure with Santos, Neymar changed into 2 times topped South American Footballer of the Year, named World Soccer Young Player of the Year and offered the FIFA Puskas Award for the purpose of the year. Though he changed into courted via way of means of a number of Europe pinnacle teams, Neymar in the end selected to live at Santos FC because the group supplied him a better earnings to hold him till 2013. He made the circulate to Barcelona FC that year. While gambling for Barcelona, Neymar completed a superb deal and have become a member of the famed offensive trio MSN, which blanketed Lionel Messi, Luis Suarez and himself. The three completed the 2014-2015 season off with a file-breaking shared overall of 122 goals, a file nevertheless held via way of means of them to this day. In 2017, Neymar moved to the French crew Paris Saint-Germain. His agreement, which you could examine extra approximately below, made him the maximum luxurious participant in records on the time. In Paris, Neymar has received 3 league titles, 3 Coupe de France and Coupe de Los Angeles League. With Neymar on their side, the crew additionally claimed a home treble in 2017-2018 and a home quadruple with inside the 2019-2020 season, main PSG to their first Champions League final on the cease of the season. Neymar's expert soccer profession additionally consists of successes as a member of the Brazilian national team. When he became handiest 18 years old, he became picked for Brazil's senior crew for the primary time, gambling his debut fit in a sport in opposition to the United States. Since then, he has competed for Brazil at some of global events, consisting of the 2011 South American Youth Championship, the 2013 Confederations Cup, 3 Copa America tournaments in 2011, 2015 and 2019, 2011, Summer Olympics in 2012 and 2016, together with World Cups in 2014 and 2018, amongst others. So what's Neymar's internet really well worth? Read on for what we realize approximately how lots Neymar's internet really well worth as and what he makes. As of 2022, Neymar's revenue is an estimated $78 million in line with year, in keeping with celebrity net worth. This is a $2 million bump from 2021, while Forbes stated that Neymar's revenue became $76 million. The seasoned footballer signed his contemporary agreement with Paris Saint-Germain in May 2021, which extends his tenure with the crew till summertime season 2025. According to Forbes, the agreement is packed with capacity overall performance bonuses, consisting of a massive pay bump if he leads PSG to a win on the Champions League. Neymar's agreement with PSG commenced in 2017, while he transferred from Barcelona FC for a whopping $263 million. The switch, which became paid in complete via way of means of the French membership in advance of his signing, nonetheless marks the maximum luxurious switch in football records. With his preliminary signing deal, Neymar earned a record-breaking $1.02 million in line with week, totaling around $53 million in annual profits from the crew alone. Of course, Neymar*'s revenue is likewise constituted of a few enormously rewarding endorsement deals. According to Forbes, the big-name participant earns a whopping $19 million from sponsorship and endorsements with manufacturers like Epic Games, Flutter Entertainment, Puma, Qatar Airways, Red Bull and Triller, amongst others. Looking at Neymar**s earnings today, it**s clean that the Brazilian participant has come an extended manner due to the fact his days at Santos FC. His first main deal become a relatively meager $1.7 million with Santos, however for being 17 years vintage on the time, it become not anything to bitch approximately. 12 months later, the group supplied Neymar a $20 million binding agreement. He became down the provide in prefer of extra flexible $4 million agreement with the group, one that could permit him to retain thinking about his potentialities past Brazil. This selection paid off. In 2013, Neymar signed to Barcelona for a reported $119 million, incomes him earnings of around $15 million on the time. Now that we recognize his earnings, best one query remains. What's Neymar**s internet really well worth? According to Celebrity Net Worth, Neymar**s internet really well worth is $200 million as of 2022. Neymar**s internet really well worth become collected way to his surprising salaries and contracts in the course of the years, such as his $119 million signing cope with Barcelona FC in 2013, his record-shattering $263 million switch to Paris Saint-Germain and his many endorsements. Altogether, those profits permit for Neymar**s earnings to generate an estimated $78 million as of 2022. According to Forbes, Neymar made $55 million at the soccer subject and $32 million off the sector in 2022. In an interview with Red Bull in 2022, Neymar recalled his first ever purpose as an expert soccer participant. My reminiscence of my first purpose for the countrywide group is of kneeling down and thanking God for all that had came about in my lifestyles. It all came about super rapid and it become one of the maximum superb matters that came about in my lifestyles, a purpose in my first recreation for the group, he said. Neymar additionally unfolded approximately what it**s want to play with Lionel Messi in Paris Saint-Germain and his different favorite group pals. I**am very happy, very glad having Messi at Paris Saint-Germain. Not best as he a soccer idol, a pinnacle participant and a genius, he**s additionally my friend. And if you have buddies via way of means of your side, your each day lifestyles is lighter and quieter. We desire to make records collectively similar to we did at Barcelona, he said. When requested approximately which group pals excite him the maximum, Neymar responded, I could say two, Kylian Mbappe and Marco Verratti. Mbappe is truly quick, young, a top-notch participant. And the opposite one which amazed me become Verratti. I knew he become right, however I didn't recognize he become as right as he is, as genius as he is. Today, I can firmly say that he**s one of the excellent midfielders I even have performed with, along Xavi and Iniesta. Neymar additionally named Pelé, every other Brazilian soccer legend, as his idol. Pelé approached soccer ever for the reason that I understood what soccer turned into. I constantly heard the call of Pelé. If a person at the street, on a discipline or at college could dribble beyond 3 gamers and scored a intention, a person could constantly say, you scored a intention like Pelé, he said. Or whilst you had a person at college performing up and questioning they had been the best, we'd say, do you believe you studied you re Pelé? These kind of expressions I they've been listening to for the reason that I turned into a child. Pelé to me is the king of soccer, the largest idol in Brazil. I actually have a massive quantity of recognize for him and for the entirety he did for our soccer and country. If Brazil is in recent times world well known for soccer, it**s due to him. We are simply blessed that Pelé turned into born in Brazil. Neymar additionally informed the logo on the time approximately what it'd be want to win the Champions League with Paris Saint-Germain. It could be incredible. I got here to Paris Saint-Germain with the intention of elevating the Champions League trophy. They've been attempting that for the reason that 2017, he said. Today our crew has a few new additions, gamers of lots of first class had been introduced in and we re nevertheless adapting to every other. The second we reused to every other, we LL be very robust together and, individually, I don't T suppose I want to mention anything. It could be incredible, excellent to do collectively with Paris Saint-Germain what we did in Barcelona.